When I was about 5 years old, maybe 6, which means my oldest brother Reggie was 8 years older than me at the time. I can't remember who it was, but someone saw us playing, Reggie, Roy, and Rudy, and Joseph, and myself playing as the Wooten brothers. And they liked it, and they got us to do a mini tour, a small tour opening for Curtis Mayfield. This was when we were living in California, so Sacramento, Oakland, that area. And I look back on it now, especially now that I have kids, and I think, man, how many parents would, book their 5-year-olds and their 13-year-olds on this tour, But anyway, we're playing some original music, some Jackson 5, some Motown, a lot of James Brown, Sly Stone, and we're doing these shows. And to us, we weren't kids. In our mind, we were just musicians, and so we got to relate with their musicians. And one of the things that I take from Curtis Mayfield, and I often hear my brothers talk about it, and it didn't dawn on me till I was much older, is he had an amazing intensity when he played. Like, James Brown the same way. James Brown would be playing, they'd be rocking, and he'd say, bring it down, and they'd just get real quiet, real soft. There's not too many people that can get quiet like James Brown, but Curtis Mayfield would play a whole concert down there. He'd play a whole night really soft and intense. You'd be on the edge of your seat the whole night. And it'd be... Fred is dead, real soft, and he'd be singing in that high falsetto, and man, the women would be going crazy, and it was so intense at a soft volume. How do you do that? It's rare, if ever, that you hear that nowadays. The thing now is just to play loud, bang them over the head. But who can play soft? Who can say what they want to say and make people listen in a soft voice? Wow, Curtis Mayfield was the master. And I really recommend going back and finding anything with Curtis Mayfield you can. If you can find some live video footage, even better. And you'll see what I'm talking about. And man, I'm just fortunate at how lucky we were at the early age. I was 5, playing my Univox bass. And we're out there with Curtis Mayfield, learning all these musical lessons. You take them where you can get them. What I like to do is, when I'm practicing, I like to turn what I'm practicing into music. So I started doing this when I got a job playing dinner music at a health food restaurant called the Slice of Life in Nashville, Tennessee, not long after I'd moved to Tennessee. And I didn't have a big repertoire. I didn't have a lot of songs, but it was dinner music, so they really wanted a mood, more so than songs. And so I took a lot of the things that I would practice, a lot of exercises that I would practice and created moods for people to eat by. And here's some of the things that I would do. I'll show you a tapping exercise. And this is just practicing tapping a scale. And I'm going to do it in G. Okay? Starting from the 15th fret. Oh, let's turn it on. So if I'm going to go down G major. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap the chord. Okay, G major. And all I'm going to do is, starting with my left index finger, then I'm going to go up to the 5, right index, then right middle or either ring finger. I'm going to use my ring finger. That's the 9. Okay, so we got G, D, A. Then I'm going to put the 10, okay, on top, B. Right. Now I could also go just 1, and then go up 5 and keep going up 5th. Right? I'm going to do it this way. And the key is to build strength in the fingers by letting each note ring. So I'm pressing down all the time. right? And whenever I want to hit a note, I just lift that finger. Okay, now it's starting to sound more like a piano rather than most of the time when we tap, we just do that. Okay, let them ring. Then just go down the scale. All right. Okay. Now, once you're comfortable with that, you just make it more musical. Just have fun with it. Okay, so now I'm practicing, but it's musical. Someone could sit here and listen to me practice. So I'd practice in front of this dinner audience for hours. You know, it was fun. Show you an even easier way to do this. Is you're going to play the same upper chord, these 3 notes, for every 2 notes. So then when this goes down a half step, this doesn't move. So, all right, so you go. Then I move. Okay, so now you have a couple ways of doing it. Now, if I want to, once I go 1, 3, 5, I'm 1, 5, 9, 10, I can go up to the 5 again. So. Creativity is valuable for creating your own voice, for one. And creativity and inspiration are very, very similar. Fine line that separates the definition of both in my mind. But a lot of people ask me where I get ideas from. And a lot of times I don't really have answers. But it comes with just having an open mind. And a lot of it, I think also, this is a guess, comes from not being afraid to go there. Because I don't think I'm any more creative than anyone else, but I will go there to that point. I'll take those chances where others will play it safe. And I'm not the type to play it safe most of the time. So a lot of the times, what may seem creative to me is where, let's say tapping, okay? I'm going to play... Okay. Wow, man, how do you come up with that? It's creative. To me, that's just playing like a piano. I see piano players sit down at the piano and do that. If I heard someone play that on the piano, it may not sound that creative. But if I take that exact same thing and put it on a different instrument where you're not used to hearing that, then it sounds creative. Okay, so what I do a lot of the times to help give me inspiration or new ideas, creative ideas, is I will look at what other instruments will do. Okay? If I want to be a great bass player, which of course I do, I need to listen to bass players. Okay? If I want to be a great musician, I need to listen to all of music. If I want to transcend all of that, I need to even get experience, influence, and find creativity outside of music. Okay? So, taking we'll stick with music, taking piano techniques and just putting them on the guitar or on the bass. Well, I don't know how to do that. Okay, give your bass to a piano player and have them lay it in their lap and play it like a piano. Immediately they'll come out with music. And it's going to sound different than any guitar player or any bass player that you've ever heard. Then maybe you have a tape recorder and you learn what they did. All right? Maybe you take a saxophone player and do the same thing. Have them hold have them hold the bass, with the headstock up by their mouth and finger some of their saxophone patterns. Because think about this. Look at this. What is this? This is a saxophone player. If I take this and lay it on its side, what do we got? We got Stanley Jordan. Okay? So now we can not only take saxophone lines like Donna Lee, we can now take saxophone technique and immediately apply it to the bass. Okay? Drum rudiments, obvious. Okay? I don't even have to talk much about that. But you can take paradiddles, ratomacules, all these different drum rhythms, and start applying them to the bass. Okay, you can do them between the two hands, or you can do them between one hand. Okay, I'll explain that real quick. A paradiddle is right, left, right, left, left. Right? That's the easy translation. But what if we just put all that paradiddle in one hand? Okay, between thumbing and plucking. So thumb, pluck, thumb, pluck, pluck. Right? And now, okay, my mind's starting to think in a different way. That's creative. Okay, but it's still just taken from other techniques. It's all out there. Guitar techniques, tapping, fuzz, harmonics, all that kind of stuff. Okay, now, let's get outside of music. Okay? In martial arts, they have different types of strikes. Maybe it's a palm strike or something. You may take that technique and apply it to the bass and see what it sounds like. Okay, you know a person who's a martial artist, or he plays golf, or whatever. Give them your bass. What will they come out with? Okay, if I give my bass to a bass player, and this is no knock on any bass players because there are great ones out there, but I know 99%. I'm pretty much know what's going to come out. It's going to be thumbing, tapping, fingers. Or a combination of chords or whatever. If I give this to a golfer, I have no idea what's going to come out. That's where the sparks fly. That's where the creation really is. You take someone that's never seen the bass, they may turn it upside down and play the back of it. It may seem stupid at first, but I'm sure so did Stanley Jordan. So did Bela Fleck when he said, I want to play jazz on the banjo. So did Future Man when he said, I want to play electronic drums on a guitar body. So did Einstein. So did Tesla. All these people were crazy. They said Monk was crazy until they realized how much of a genius he was. In my mind, everybody's a genius. It's just, are you going to go there to find it out? Are you going for it or not? So realize your geniusness and express it. Have fun with it. Just express it. Back to the tapping. I was talking about this. Let's just stick with G major for a minute. Okay? All right, and I'm going to play, you make a chord by skipping every other note.